are back with a very special edition of tonight's show. So, like I said, we were coming back tonight, and we were going to give you guys an intimate look at us.
Very intimate.
So we're gonna do this video in two parts, so we can share it different kind of ways and do what we're gonna do. So
I'm gonna say cheat towards me a little bit.
Huh?
Say cheat towards me a little bit.
Oh, me?
Yeah, just a little touch. There we go.
Okay.
You know, I'm always, if y'all don't know, I'm always looking at the frame of the picture and all that stuff.
So before we get started,
I do set notes.
Before we get started, I need to have a drink.
Can we do a cheers?
Shit about to get real.
Don't.
Oh, let's have a cheers to a triple show tonight. It's a marathon.
It's a marathon. I want to do cheers to. This is Pride Month, and we're going to share our stories, and a lot of people share their stories, and hopefully it helps somebody.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Think what you want about it.
Let's go.
Bam.
I'm going to have a cheers for all the hoes. So tonight, we're going to be talking
some
about...
before you put your soup coolers all on.
I ain't did nothing like that.
No, I'm good.
What you
Well,
did.
look. Well, no. Once this run out, then yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm
good.
good.
Okay. So...
All right, y'all.
So tonight we're gonna have a little introduction. As you guys know, we have a Wednesday show every Wednesday night called Sipping and Tripping.
Hello.
And we are a global brand. We are ambassadors for the LGBT community, and we are authentically us, and we live our lives unapologetically.
Very true.
But before you get to the rainbow, there's always a rain. There's always a storm.
Always a storm.
That makes the rainbow come. And tonight,
you better come on for that.
oh, she's gonna come.
Yes.
And tonight, you guys can see the rainbow that we showed you guys. So we're not taking you there yet. We're getting there. But we want to tell you guys just a little bit more about ourselves and have a little bit of intimate conversation, and just let you guys know that it will get better.
It will. And everybody's story is different.
Everybody's story is different. So it's not going to last because my story, his story, you guys want to see
it's not going to be
differences.
cookie cutter from person to
And
person.
this is a series that we're going to be having for the next few weeks. We have different people lined up to come on to it and tell their stories. And this is just going to be something that we want to share with you guys. And we hope you guys enjoy it. So first and foremost, as you guys know, I'm Martell. This is.
I'm Dana.
All right.
So,
So
I'm
going to ask Dana
Today.
some questions. And we're just going to get down to the nitty gritty of his coming out story.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Dana.
Yes.
When did you know you were gay?
Let's see. Well,
I'm sorry. Before we get that, tell us a little bit about your life coming up in Chicago on the West Side.
Okay. Well, grew up on the west side of Chicago. Funny story. Not my entire family. Me, my mom, my dad still live right now in the same apartment that I grew up in.
Oh, okay, good
so
times.
I moved back. They're getting older. They need help. I'm like, I want to move back, and I'm broke. Whatever. So, but anyway, we still live there. I mean, it was. I feel like it was a regular childhood. The only thing that struck me different about my childhood is that my parents are older.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was born, and I'm my mom's oldest. When I was born, my mom was 30. My dad was 42.
Okay.
So she's gonna be 61 this year, and my dad already made 73.
Okay.
Right? Sound about right? So yeah.
He was born in what year?
Oh God.
45.
45.
Okay.
Mom was born in 57. Dad was born in 45. Yep. So yeah, that's it. I mean, Dad was a postal carrier my entire life. Mom was a postal carrier. She quit when we were born.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed at home till we were in middle school, late middle school, 7th, 8th grade.
You had a brother that lived in the house with you?
Younger brother. Yep. Younger brother.
So when did you know you were gay?
I always think of it. I never really. Well, I knew something was different.
Okay.
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
And it's only in hindsight, in retrospect, that I realized that that's the point that I knew something was different. But you know how little boys and little girls fight with each other? You know what I'm saying? Like when they like each other, like, oh, I can't stand her. Ew, like, and they fight, blah, blah, blah. I did the same thing, but with a boy.
Oh my gosh.
It was a boy in my kindergarten class. I don't know how I remember all this because it was so long ago. And his name was Ryan.
Okay, Brian. Hey, Brian.
And for whatever reason, we could not stand each other.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
we could not stand, like, but the gag was, as much as we couldn't stand each other, we always wanted to play together. Every day, we was like, well, we're going to play together. And this, you know how little tiny kids are. It's not like we was walking up saying, "Hey, let's hang out." No, we was just like playing, and you just end up playing with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we would always fight every day. It ended in a fight. No matter what we did, no matter what we played, we ended up fighting. And like I said, looking back on it in retrospect, I realized that's what little boys and little girls normally do when they like each other, is that fighting thing, cat and mouse thing. And I was like, well, I did that with a boy, so. And that's why I kind of knew, like, okay, something's different. But even, I can remember as far back as probably like fourth or fifth grade, there was this girl that grew up down the street from us, and we call ourselves liking on each other. Her name's Sharif. And
she still live down there?
No, she doesn't. They had that house for a while, and then her mom passed away, and her mom and dad had already divorced, and so the house is not theirs no more now. But anyway, we grew up together, and fourth or fifth grade, we call ourselves liking on each other. Well, we gonna go out here, blah 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 blah. I had already known then that I did not like girls. Like, I knew it. I just knew it. Like, I was just like, I don't like girls like that, because it's sad to say, like, even at that age is when kids start going through that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this little girl is cute, blah blah blah. They start feeling themselves. Little girls start smelling themselves, all that stuff.
So who was
I already knew I didn't like girls.
So who was the first person you told that you were gay?
Oh, well, I did the bi thing first.
Oh, cool, child.
The bi thing.
Let me tell you guys what the bi thing is. The bi thing is that when you come out the closet, nobody wants to come out, oh, I'm gay. It's rainbows. Everybody comes out, oh, I'm bi. And you give like your family a little bit of hope. I still like girls. Right. I think I like guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know I like girls. I like girls.
I like girls.
So the bi thing is normally how most gay guys come out with the bi thing.
Right.
I'm bi. Normally, if your child tells you they bi, they gay. Most bi people don't come out the closet.
They really don't.
They don't.
They just do what
they just do what they're gonna do.
That's very true.
And they don't normally, do none of that.
Yeah.
So if your child saying they bi, hug your child, kiss them on their forehead, and say, "Baby, I love you."
There you go.
All right, but anyway, who's the first person you told?
So the first people I told were my brother, my younger brother, and my cousin.
Oh.
And I told them that I was bi, and they were like, "Okay, whatever." You know, I was always that kid that everybody was like, "Oh, we gonna," like, especially like the guys down the street. "Oh, we gonna get Dana some pussy," blah blah blah. And I'm just like,
"Oh, child,
I'm good."
We all been there.
I'm good. Now here's the gag. I've been with girls.
Oh.
I've dated. In my life, I can count on one hand. I've dated 1, 2, 3 girls.
Okay.
I've had sex with one of them.
And while you were having sex with her, were you having sex with men at the same time?
No, I wasn't. That was my first.
Okay.
My first was a girl.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. And so, what? All right, guys. I'm sorry about that. Obviously, people don't have any consideration for our coming out stories tonight.
Well.
So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rewind ourselves a little bit.
We're
gonna come right on back. So, anyhow, so I was asking you, what obstacles did you face by, right now you're not at the closet yet. You just told your cousin, your brother, what obstacles did you think that you had to go through that were different than you did before you told them? Did you have, I'm sorry, I'm listening out right now. What project is going on? Did you have to still maintain a level of masculinity, or were you able to be your authentic self in that moment?
Well, I wouldn't say that I was completely myself. It did help me let my guard down maybe a little bit. But actually, no, I'm lying. Not really. No. Because the gag is, I just very recently became comfortable speaking about checking guys out and all that stuff in front of my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a new thing for me. And sometimes I make myself do it just to make it a norm. You know what I'm saying? Like, this should not be some weird thing when Dana says, "Oh, that guy's hot." Like, no, that shouldn't be strange. People should be used to that. That's me. Y'all sit around. I do, brother. Y'all sit around and talk about girls all the time. Like, "Oh, look at her," blah blah blah. Like, why I should be able to do the same thing. And so I make myself do it now. So back then I did not. Like, I didn't do that.
And so when you came out to your family as a whole, as, I'm a liberated African-American gay man, which he's Caucasian, but it's okay, gay man, how did your family take it? Like, did you have, like, a mixed response? Or was it Monday?
So before even I actually came out all the way, I was probably 13, 14 years old, and I had my little stuffed animal that I kept with me. Her name was Moo Moo, and she had a little. She was originally like the spokesperson from the amusement park Kittyland that used to be in Chicago, like a little stuffed animal from them. And she came with this little skirt and whatever. And over the years, I gave her new clothes. Child, I would get weave and do her hair. Like, that was my judge. That was my Barbie. I didn't have Barbies. That was my Barbie. You know what I'm saying? So
make a way out of no way.
There you go. So my mom pulled me aside one day at the house and was just like, "Are you gay?" And I was probably like I said, I was probably 14. This was before high school. I was probably 14 years old at this point. This was literally the summer before I started high school. And I'm like, no, whatever, no, what do you mean? Like, no, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, well, I just want you to know if it's okay if you are, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, okay. And that was it.
That was it?
That was it.
So, question. So, when you finally came out, did you lose any family, any friends? Like, was there anything that you could say that before you came out you had that you didn't have after you came out the closet? I know about the one friend.
Well, yeah, there was one friend.
She gonna pull the tea out tonight.
I would have said it, but there was one friend that.
Well, I didn't know if it was right here or not.
I hung out with. That was one of my best friends in high school, and I came out right after graduation.
We had met at the time.
Right, yeah, it was right when I was.
When I met you, I thought you was just flaming around.
Oh, child, that's because she was fresh out, honey. I was
high school then.
I was feeling myself. Was I still?
Yeah.
No.
You were a senior, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. My senior year, I was just kind of. My senior year, I didn't have too many fucks left to give. Let's put it like that. I really didn't.
Well, now mind you, when me and Dana first met, it was my first day working a job and his last day. I probably said 2 or 3 words to him because I was just like, he is too gay to function. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, there was a friend. And we had a mutual friend because we worked together briefly. And I told her that I had a crush on him, and then she told him that I had the crush on him, and I guess it freaked him out. So whatever, we didn't talk more after that. But anyway, whatever.
But what about family? Did you lose any family, any cousins, or anything?
No, I mean, most of my family is cool. I'm blessed for that. Most of my family is very accepting. They don't care as long as you're not harming nobody or nothing like that. Then they was cool with it. There's one cousin that when I was growing up, he's a bit older than us. So when I was growing up, I was the one that he liked to pick on just because I was different and I went to military school and all of this and all that. I was quiet and blah blah blah, and I wasn't like the other cousins, all that stuff. Aww. So after because I never really sat the whole family down. It was like, oh, hey y'all, I'm gay. No, it was just kind of one of them things where I told my mama, she told who she told, word spread, whatever. So after
because mamas talk.
True. After that, I mean, nothing really changed with my family. I feel like my relationship with my dad got different. I don't want to say worse, because it was already... Me and my father are weird. We don't get along as much because we're so much alike. And so it's kind of like 2 brick walls trying to sit down and have a conversation. He don't talk at all, and I don't talk as much. You know what I'm saying? So there was never an actual conversation between me and my father about me coming out. I did, and life went on with him. Like, that was it. Like, there was no huge change. I do feel like sometimes he's afraid to offend me, I think. I feel like sometimes he doesn't know, he feels like he doesn't know how to talk to me. And it's gotten better over these past couple years. But yeah, so I mean, it was just a different dynamic. Like I said, he doesn't talk much. It was never an actual conversation. It was never actual spoken word. So yeah, so that part.
So do you feel like you changed since you came out? Like, since you've been free, you went from a capital to a butterfly. Have you changed?
I have. I feel like I have. And I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, I'm very different from what I was 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 31. So let's say 13 years ago. It came out when I was 18. Like I said, it was right around high school. I just ran out of fucks to get. You don't like me, you don't like me.
So
there's nothing I can do about it.
If you can go back in time, what changes would you have made then, knowing what you know now?
One of the things I always say is that if I could go back, I would have come out way earlier. I feel like I wasted high school being in the closet. You know, like I feel like I could have enjoyed myself a lot more in high school if I'd have just been who I was. Because I feel, and everybody would have took it. Yeah, it would have been some people who would have been blah blah blah, but you get over it, you know. Especially if I went back knowing what I know now. Oh, girl.
So, what advice would you have given your younger self?
My younger self, I would have said, have more fun. Don't be afraid to have fun. Don't be afraid
Thank you.
Don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and meet people and make friends and have, memories. Growing up, I've never wanted, I should say I've never needed for anything. My parents provided for me. Point blank period. We went to Catholic school, all that fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? The thing that I regret the most is not experiencing more. Okay. You know, just in life in general, just doing stuff. I was that person, like, I came home from school, I did homework, I went to work, and I sat at home. Or on the weekends, I went home. I didn't go out and hang out at friends' houses. I didn't do anything. Like, so I was just like, I wish I would have done more. I wish I would have been more present in my life.
Okay.
You know?
So, this right here is Zayna's coming out story right here, y'all. Anything else you want to add to your story?
I don't know. I guess I should say, like, actually coming out, I wrote a letter. Mm-hmm. You know what it was? Like I said, around the time right after high school ended, was when I met Martell. And so I lived in Chicago. I went to high school out here, but after high school was over, I was back in Chicago. Martell was out here. And we was hanging out. So I would, every chance I would get, I would jump up and I would just come out here. There was a brief period where I lived, no joke, like legit lived with Martell and his family.
I keep saying that. Then we live in each other's pockets.
We live in each other's pockets, and once upon a time it was true. Across the room.
Once upon a time, not long ago, that was true.
Exactly. So I would jump up, I would come out to Aurora, and my mom stopped me at one point and was just like, you know, why don't you like being at home? What's going on? Is something bothering you? Like, why do you jump up and go out? And when I would leave the house, I would be out here for weeks at a time. Days, weeks at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would come home, I would grab clothes and come back. Like, I was getting my life. I was living my life. Bitch, we was out in these streets, okay?
Hey. I was a Christian girl. Okay?
We was out in these streets.
I was at church.
Anyway,
I was what you was doing. You was at my house.
She just asked me. She was just like, you know, what's going on? Why do you spend so much time out there? Blah blah blah. And I gave her some not really half-assed story. It was partly true. I was just like, I went to school out here. Like, all of my friends are in Aurora. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't hang with anybody from Chicago. I just didn't.
You didn't bother with those hoes? No, so didn't bother you?
Exactly. So, anyway, I was just like, I brushed it over. But anyway, she was so worried about it. And I ended up sitting down. I wrote a little letter. And I was running out the house one night to come out to Aurora. And I was like, okay, here. And I gave her the letter. She's like, what's this? I said, girl, just read this. But I want it to be gone. And that's the thing I say when I say people like me don't deal with feelings well.
Hold on. My mother intervened and said that Dano went to church too for a while. He wasn't sanctified though.
I was in the choir and everything, honey. Look, okay. Mama took me in.
Shama, we don't have to book you on the show. I want to tell your story. I want you on my show. That's a good. I want him on the show. But
so I wrote her this letter, and basically in this letter I said, it was real vague at first. I was just like, you know, all my friends in Aurora, blah blah blah, and I like hanging out there. And it was, now that I think about it, it was so stupid. And at the end of the letter I wrote, plus the boys are cuter in Aurora. That is what I wrote. That is legit what I wrote to come out to my mom.
No, he said the boys are cute in
I said
Aurora.
the boys are cute in Aurora. That was it. That was it.
You couldn't physically say the words "I'm gay."
Yep.
You said the boys are cuter.
Yep.
In Aurora.
Yep. That's what I said.
And did you guys ever discuss that? See, this thing on my list, y'all. Did you guys ever discuss that?
We did sometime after, probably a year or 2 years after. We talked about it.
So you just floated for a while.
I was done. That was it for me. I was like, well, I'm out.
Okay.
That was it for me. Like, that was all I needed. And like I said, I don't deal with speaking feelings well, so I'm much better writing them and texting them.
That was me.
Exactly. All that stuff. So that was how I got it off my chest, and that was good. I was probably a nervous wreck that night. I don't remember, but
I don't even remember.
I
know the story you told me, but I don't remember it in the moment. You know?
No. I know I was leaving out of my house, come out here. I don't know what we did or where we went or whatever.
It was drinking.
Probably.
What did they say we did?
Crack bottle. Anyway, that's
another
story. Crack bottles. Another story.
Crack bottles
For another time.
No, we drunk nothing but Absolute, honey.
We did.
We used to crack bottles. Okay.
We used to crack bottles.
Child, all I heard was cracking. I was scared. I'm like, we were not with D.
We were not.
You can't use that here in the sentence, child.
But yeah, that was it. That was my story.
Cool, child. Okay, so that is Dana's coming out story. You guys, if you guys like that, I want you guys to like and share this video. We'll be having coming out stories for the rest of this month and into next month.
Yeah.
Like I said, we will be having the divine, the lovely Sasha Love coming through in 2 weeks. Charma, we're gonna get my brother on the show. He's gonna tell his stories in the comments. We're gonna get him up on this show. He don't know it yet. I got a couple of females. I want to be having them come on the show, and we're just going to give you guys some great content. You guys stick around in about 5 minutes. You're gonna get my story.
Yes, and I don't know if I'm gonna get to interview. I'll probably just get to sit back and listen.
No. He's an interviewer. Look, I have questions for him to interview.
Questions? Is it the same question or is it different questions?
He has questions right here.
Wow. So anyway,
stay tuned. Stay tuned. The next 5 minutes, we'll be back, and Dana's going to be interviewing me about my coming out story. Thank you guys so much. We love you.